Welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. My name is Parker Robinson. We're joined by Coach Lewis of the basketball team. It's been about a month since we caught up with you last, and you finally got on the hardwood with your team. Talk about that opening stretch of games, non-conference.
We've had a really tough conference season. We haven't played anyone in our league. We played NCAA Division II schools. We've played NAIA Division I schools, and it's been a tough preseason. It has. It was nice to get some home games, though, get to play at home a little bit. But we open up with conference here in 2 weeks, and we're really looking forward to that. Yeah,
definitely. How do you feel playing those tough games are going to kind of build your team going into conference?
I like it, honestly. I like having a tough schedule. I think it makes us step up to the level that we need to. It also gives us a chance to work through those problems and issues that we have on the floor as far as chemistry and things like that. But, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great to have a tough preseason schedule. It's better than, having one that you just waltz through, because when it comes time to conference and you get challenged, you might not be ready for it. But I do believe that we're going to be ready.
Yeah, definitely. How do you see the team meshing kind of as you go through those games?
It's funny that you asked that, because our first quarter against Mary a couple days ago was actually the best first quarter we have played this year. And going back and watching it and everything like that, we still had our areas that we need to improve on, for sure, but it was our offense started to come together and look very, very good. So there's moments that we can see, the team that we are going to be. We see some moments of that, but we still have to work through those moments of, the areas that we need to get better at.
Yeah, and what would you say the biggest area that you'd like to kind of push past?
The biggest area right now, is rebounding. To be honest with you, we were out rebounded this week, really bad against Minot and Mary. We were outsized, which is, honestly, what it's going to be this year. We're going to be outsized, and so we've got to do a better job at being aggressive reboundingly. We can't wait for the ball to come to us. We have to go get it, and we've got to start getting down lower and boxing people out and pushing them back. And it's something that we're definitely working on this week when we don't have practice or we don't have games.
Yeah, definitely. And like we talked about before, all new players, how big of a role does that play into finding that chemistry on the floor?
It plays a huge role. It does. All new players, all new faces. It's not like we have any starters returning. We don't have any returners returning on the floor. And so it's been definitely a roller coaster. We've had some games where we've played really well, and some games where some areas we definitely need to fix. But I think with the new faces, we did get our other player, Rojin, back from her knee problems, and so she's back on the floor with us. We're at 10 right now that are able, we're 9 that are able to play. And so we're starting to get that flow. The substitution flow and things like that are starting to come a little bit easier, especially being 10 games in.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of looking at your schedule, you got 3 wins against YCC and then 2 against Salish. Mm-hmm. How good is it to at least get on the floor and get a W, no matter what level of the opponent?
It is good. It's always good to walk off the floor with a win. It is, and that's what I told the girls is we've played people that are in divisions way above us and those that aren't affiliated with any, and so it's kind of hard. I said our real test is going to be in 2 weeks when we open with Valley. I said that's going to be our test to see where we're at, because we're finally going to play somebody within our division. And so it's great to have those wins. It is. And it's great to be challenged by bigger programs and things, but our real challenge is going to be in a couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And you got a busy week coming up following Thanksgiving here. Monday against Yellowstone Christian College again, and then that weekend you jump into conference. 3 games in a week, that's got to be tough for a team.
Yes, it is. It is tough, 3 games in a week. It's tough, especially as a coach, though, too, is planning practices, because the day after a game, it's your recovery day, but yet we have 2 more games we got to be preparing for. So it's tough to plan and to space that out so that we can recover, and those who need to heal can, but also we need to prepare.
Yeah, definitely. And looking forward to those games Friday and Saturday against conference opponents, Valley City and then Waldorf. Have you been watching any tape on them, or what are you expecting?
Yes, we have. Well, I have. I've been preparing for them and watching and seeing what we're up against. And Valley's a very good team. They're very good. They're actually top in our, not top in our conference, but they're up there right now. And it's just tough because you don't play the same opponents in the preseason, and so it's kind of tough to gauge where we are with them. But Valley's a very good team. It's going to be a tough game, and so we need to do what we have to do to be prepared.
As you go into conference, what's kind of the game plan for these back-to-backs, playing Friday and Saturday? Most of the time, that's it's not easy, but
no,
yeah.
it's not easy. But I mean, thank goodness in the preseason we've had some games that were back to back, so that we're able to prepare. And that's something we talk about with our team is, you know, in conference, in college basketball, you have to be able to come out strong one night, and no matter the result, win or lose, you can't get too high and you can't get too low, because you've got to come out the next day for another game.
Yeah, definitely. In those first 3 weekends in December, you guys have home games. So what are you looking forward to getting people to come out to Scott Gym and get in the warmth at least?
Yeah, get in the warmth at least. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's, it's great to have, you know, home games in December, but at the same time it's tough because we play so many home games in a row and then we're on the road for so long. Yeah. And so that'll be a tough adjustment and things, but I mean, we appreciate the support when people come out and watch us play. I know we've had great support so far this season in our preseason games, and I know the girls really appreciate it, and we're really looking forward to it. It's always fun to play in front of your home crowd. Yeah,
definitely. And with those games coming at home early, how are you trying to prepare your team to take advantage of those early rather than not having as many late?
And that's something we'll talk to our girls about, is we want to take advantage of having these home games early in the conference and being able to sneak away a few of these home games, if not all of them, so that we can be on the right track to finish where we need to.
Definitely. Well, best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
Make sure you find your way to Scott Gym Monday at 5:30 for the women's game, followed by the men's game, and then same thing on Friday against Valley City. We'll be back with one of Coach Lewis's players. Welcome back to Hawk Talk for our Blue Feather Focus, the Blue Feather Athletic Association, bringing student athletes in from all over the globe. And we're joined by one of those today, playing on the women's basketball team. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and kind of your journey to DSU.
Well, my name is Karen, and I'm from Oklahoma. I'm a junior this year, and I major in psychology, and I'm just ready to play basketball.
Yeah, definitely. And you came from Western Oklahoma Junior College. Talk about the experience and how that's kind of helped you going from high school to junior college and now on to 4-year.
It's a good transition. It helped me a lot with not being afraid, I guess. You go in to JUCO and it's just like everybody's at the same level pretty much. So it wasn't as intimidating. So I guess I could say that right there. It helped me to be more comfortable with playing basketball at a higher level.
Yeah, definitely. And you came to DSU here, and you've made an instant impact. You're starting on the team. And with all new players, how tough has that been to learn how to play with a bunch of new people?
It's been pretty tough since we've all never played with each other. But right now I feel like we're getting better, and it's exciting, actually. With our preseason, it was extremely difficult, but now it's to the point where we're just ready. Like coaches helped us and got us through it.
Yeah. How are you guys trying to find the different roles that people will play? Is that more in games, or do you think practice has a big part in finding those roles?
Practice definitely has a big part in that. Games somewhat, but practice is definitely where everything happens and where we figure out.
Yeah. And you guys started really early in the year. Coach Lewis had you guys running and practicing early. You know, how big was that kind of conditioning and getting to know each other in general?
I've actually talked to the coaches in the beginning. I told them, yes, I'm a junior in my mind, but my body feels like a freshman because it's extremely hard. But now it's just, I guess they were so tough on us before to get us ready for now, because now I feel like we're in shape. We're just at a level that was unexpected.
Yeah, and you guys, you know, you're traveling across Montana, North Dakota. How do kind of those road trips and those bonds help you on the court as well?
The bonds, pretty much, we're all just pretty tired, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on you, you sleep on me, okay, help me with this homework, I'll help you with this homework. It's just we bonded off of difficult times. I would say that.
Yeah, and early in those games, like we talked with Coach Lewis, not always the result you wanted to get, but kind of in these preseason non-conference games, it's about kind of the process, trust the process, Joel Embiid, if you will. Are you seeing that kind of come together as you move into conference?
Absolutely, yeah. Our tough preseason is actually it's gotten us prepared. Yes, we took the losses pretty hard, but now it's like, okay, we're in our conference and we're prepared, we're excited. Like, we're getting things are clicking now.
Definitely. And moving into those conference games next week, what are you guys looking forward to about finally getting to play a game in the conference?
We're excited. We're definitely excited. We're just focused on trying to get a win. We're trying to go hard and prove ourselves.
Yeah. And for anyone who hasn't come out to Scott Gym so far, what type of game do you play, and how are you looking forward to produce for the Blue Hawks?
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I looked at the stats. You're second in scoring, second in rebounds, and second assists. It seems like you're quite the team player and distributing as well.
I would definitely have to say that's my teammates. They definitely push me hard enough, and they block out so I can get rebounds. They get a lot of attention, like our shooters. They get attention, so they're focused on this person, so now I can do what I need to do. We definitely help each other out in providing, like, doing our roles and getting each other open, passing and all that.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Lewis a little bit about the schedule, having a bunch of home games in December here. But, you know, with you guys having finals here, that's got to be a welcome sight, seeing home court.
Definitely it is. It's really exciting. It's always good to have the people that you know there and supporting you, having your home crowd cheering you on. It's like an extra boost.
Yeah, we'll make sure you're one of those people coming out to Scott Gymnasium next Monday, and then the first and the second home games, big conference games. Best of luck to you, Karen.
Thank you.
We'll be back kind of putting a bow on the fall sports season. All right, welcome back to Hawk Talk. Just putting a recap on the fall sports season. Football won the conference 9-1, and they had to go to Southern Oregon. Quite the trip. Chartered flight out of Billings. Went there, not the result they wanted, losing 55-24. Deontay Dixon with 105 yards on 14 carries there, ending their season. But on the other end of it, they had 9 all-conference players, and Coach Pete Stanton was named Conference Coach of the Year. Tommy Cease was named Defensive Player of the Year. So a successful year for them, looking to build as they go into the recruiting season. We'll try to get one of them on as well as they go to high schools around the country, trying to bring in new Blue Hawks. On the other side of things, cross country, they were also in nationals at the national tournament in Vancouver, Washington. The men finished 31st. Rodney Henry led those guys, and led by J.C. Wilson, the women finished 33rd. And then, like we mentioned with Coach Lewis and Karen, women basketball and men's basketball is coming up Monday, 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Make sure you find your way out there. And then Friday, the 1st, taking on Valley City in that first conference matchup, a big one. And then in other news, Yule time for the DSU Heritage Foundation is coming up. Make sure you get your tickets because we are almost out. That money goes to support scholarships at Dickinson State. And with Thanksgiving upon us, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you Blue Hawk supporters, Blue Hawk fans, Blue Hawk family, and the consolidated crew here, Ron Rhodes and everyone else, as they put together this production for us. Make sure you go back and check out all of the Hawk Talks through the DSUBlueHawks.com. And until next week, we'll make sure to keep up on DSUBlueHawks.com. See you then.